Welcome in, everybody. It is my honor and my pleasure to introduce you to my friend, Erica Van Eaton. She is a channel, an all-around awesome person, and, and she's definitely somebody who's bringing in a lot of light to the planet. So welcome to the show, Erica.
Thank you. I am so
Yeah.
excited to be here and play with you today.
Oh, playing. I love playing with people.
It's always about play.
That's
Always.
my that's my language. Like, play, wait, huh? Oh, we're gonna play something? I am down
Yeah.
for it. And so I was just asking you before the show started, who do you channel? What do you do?
So a lot of times I'm channeling soul just
Hmm.
in conversation.
Hmm.
But behind that, it's connected to a council. And the council is primarily led by Archangel Metatron,
Oh.
usually. And then behind him is a council of councils. So when I've asked this question in the past, I can't say that's a number of beings or what kind of beings are there because they're very some come in as individual beings into the council to speak as one voice. You know, when we talk about a council, it's a bunch of beings together speaking as one unified field of energy. And so behind that field of energetics, you know, if I say, well, it's Pleiadian, the Pleiadians come through as a council as well. It's layered energetics. And so one time they described it as like, think about a quilt. You know, there's this patchwork on this quilt, and each patchwork has different colors, but the stitching in between the pieces is this unified place that creates unity consciousness. It creates one voice. So we're looking at where these different layers overlap of these different beings that are living in all different kinds of dimensional realms. And even within each dimensional realm, let's say we're talking about the Pleiadians. The Pleiadians primarily live in the fifth, sixth dimensional realm. But even
Yeah.
within those realms, there's different densities within each realm. And so there's Pleiadian beings that live in the less dense realms and the more dense realms, but their energies overlap and they become one voice. So when we're working with humans, sorry, they're coming
Hmm.
through right now. When we're
Please
working
don't.
when we're working with humans, humans are multidimensional, but they often forget that. So if we're speaking to them, we want to speak to them in layered energetics so that we're hitting different layers of their soul. We're going to speak in a very plain language that hits that part of them that's maybe still tethered into the more dense field of the third dimension that's more form, more pain. We touch on those pain points to bring in that aspect of them for healing. But at the same time, we're also bringing in energy that's bringing in the higher versions or the higher access points of their soul that's more expanded into the lighter densities, layers. So when we do that, when we work in layers, when we speak in layers, when we come as a council in layers, then we're not just hitting one aspect of the people that we're talking to. We're hitting every layer of this person, every layer of the group that's listening. So our work goes a lot deeper and we can infiltrate. People think of that as a bad word. It's not
I
a
like that
necessarily,
word.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're infiltrating into the soul
Yeah.
more wholeness, more unification. Because the human experience now is about internal unity consciousness. And that's what I have a book coming out in September. It was a unified consciousness between the soul of my oldest son, myself, and the council that we both work with and through. It's a transmission because on the planet, we're wanting to experience ascension. Everyone's been talking about that forever, but we ascend with the body. We're not leaving the body. We ascend with the mind. We're not leaving the mind. We ascend with our ego, which is our personality. We don't leave any of these pieces behind. And each of these pieces of the human reside in different dimensional fields. So there's an ego that is in the dense field that gets triggered and hurt by these pain points. But there's an aspect of the ego that is, you know, in the fifth dimensional field, untethered from emotional trauma, very expansive part of your personality. So when we want to ascend, we're wanting to ascend every aspect from a place of wholeness so that we're not leaving fragments of ourselves behind, but we're coming into a place of internal unity. So if I'm going to channel the council, and maybe your audience can feel them with them now, then they're going to come at us from a very layered voice, but it's still a unified voice, but the energy behind it is layered.
Those are always the coolest conversations because when you go back and listen to them, you're like, how is this a different conversation? I didn't hear that before.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's the same, like, every time I teach a class or like with coaching clients, I'm talking about, do you want to record this? Because when you go back and listen, you're going to hear something completely different because the energy continues to evolve. Every class that I teach, for most people, it's a living consciousness with
Hmm.
layered energies in it. And every time you move back into that consciousness, it expands and you move into another dimensional field within that class, within that activation, within that recording. So, yeah.
Super fun. Super fun. So then when people are moving from third dimension into fourth dimension and fifth dimension, what is that then?
Well, I'll let them come in a little bit more and answer that. There's a perception that we're going to leave body, but we came here on earth to be an experience through form, and we came here to experience through emotion. And these are experiences that are very rare throughout the universes to have to the degree which we do.
Okay.
So when we expand it's the degree to which and how much consciousness of your consciousness can move into this realm, can move into the fifth dimensional realm or whatever. But we're not, to be honest, if we moved entirely into that dimension right now, we wouldn't be able to hold it for a number of reasons. One part of our psyche would get very bored. We are used to the dopamine rushes, we're used to the adrenaline, we're used to the things that emotions make us feel.
Mhm.
Even for highly evolved spiritual people, we're so used to the addiction of emotion that if everything was in a flow state and there wasn't the contrast, and there's always going to be contrast, but the degree to which we have it here, we
Mhm.
would get very bored. So this is going to be a very slow process.
Humans love drama. We can't even pretend like we don't. You cannot live drama free. We can't.
We cannot. And we can say, I just want to be drama free, but even just, a really fun interaction with someone where you're laughing uncontrollably and you feel all this energy bubble up, that's a form of good drama.
Yeah.
But we're used to these ups and downs and ebbs and flows. So,
Yeah.
really, right now, the practice is presence. How
Yeah.
much of my energy can I bring present right here?
Yeah.
The more that we practice presence, the easier it is for us to maintain some equilibrium in the chemistry in our body.
Yeah.
And that's the step is practicing presence. When we practice presence and bringing all of our energy into the now moment, we're pulling strings. Most people at this point are aware of string therapy or string theory
Hmm.
in quantum physics, where we have these strings that are tethered into memories in the energy field, tethered into beliefs and into programs. And so the more present that we are and bring our energy home just by intention or breath work, which has become everywhere. You see people talking about breath work, mindfulness. All of that is practice of being present with your energy. You start to untie those strings. From presence, you play in the quantum field. From presence, you become a master creator. And to be really present, we need to create internal unity consciousness. So, meaning that we have open dialogue with our ego and our mind and our body alongside the soul. They are all within the soul, part of the soul. If we're excluding our mind when we're trying to be present and just trying to shove thoughts out of our head, that creates resistance, resistance to self. And that resistance causes shame, it causes failure, these kind of negative emotions that then shut us down, and we get pulled back out to all the reasons why we're failing at being present. If we instead allow for the mind to have the thoughts, but invite all of that energy, whether we are feeling pain in our gut or insecurity or fear or lack, if we invite that energy up into our heart, and when we invite our mind down into our heart, and we just allow for all of this to become a unified field of energy in our heart space, we're creating internal unity consciousness, and that's creating presence. It's untethering these stories that we have running. It's untethering the emotions from the field. It's untethering the thoughts from the field. And it's bringing it all into the heart space. And with it untethered, you have free particles of energy to play and create with. So, the ascension process, moving into other dimensional realms, we have a lot of practice to do before we can really do that. It's converging all the different aspects of us into one internally, so we stop fighting and resisting ourselves. And that can include shadow work, but it's accepting everything, every part of us into our heart space. Because through that self acceptance, you produce a different chemical production internally. So we bring everything into the heart space. And through that self acceptance process, we create self trust, we create self love. And then we have all this energy to create a new vision with. What do we want to feel? What do we want to experience? And sometimes we can't truly know what our soul's desire is until we untether from these strings that are, pulling us back into who we thought we could and couldn't be. So
Yeah.
once that energy flips around and comes back inside into the heart space, that's when clarity comes in. That's when channeling your soul comes in, feeling desire, feeling purpose, even. All of these experiences that we're wanting to have, that we've been talking about forever, become available. And our perception, poof, opens up. A lot of people want to move forward with purpose, or like, I just don't feel purpose, or I don't know what I desire, even like, what am I doing here? Well, none of that can really become clear if we have all these other voices going on. So
Mhm.
turning all this energy inward opens up your ability to feel, to hear, to see, to sense your soul. And sometimes that just means, God, I really want a beautiful green apple right now. I want to
Mhm.
feel cutting into it. I want to feel the crisp apple in my mouth, and I want to feel how it nourishes my body. It doesn't have to be this overriding big, huge thing,
Yeah.
because again, we're going back to being very present. What is going to bring me joy right now? Well, that's my purpose, finding joy, experiencing joy, playing with joy.
Yeah.
So it's the small things, and then that energy builds into a bigger picture.
Yeah. I kind of want to know, when you mentioned breath work, how many people took a deep breath? A. Because anytime somebody mentions breath work, everybody's like, right, holy crap, I haven't been breathing.
That's funny. It's true.
It's so true. But I love what you're talking about with the building the foundation with small, tiny things. Because it's 100%, right? Like, my purpose right now is to be exactly where I am, doing exactly what I'm doing. And when you notice these small things, that is what gives the bigger things space to be like, oh, that's obvious,
Hmm.
right?
But how annoying. was it before to hear someone say, you're in the right spot at the right time always. You just got to trust that. And you're
Worst.
like, stop.
No.
What does that mean? All that means, if it helps you, if you're one of those people that are still like, oh my gosh, shut up. I don't want to hear that. All we're working towards, remember, just being present with your energy because you get to rewire your mind. You get to rewire your subconscious belief structures. You get to rewire or you get to reorganize your chemical state.
Hmm.
So, if that's what it takes, thinking about just my biology, that if I'm present and if I'm taking a deep breath, then I'm focusing on the breath. And if I'm focusing on the breath, then that's turning my energy inward, right?
Hmm.
So, if I'm taking a deep breath and I know that maybe I really am not enjoying the people around me right now, but you're telling me I'm supposed to be here, right now, as I'm like getting triggered by all these people. Okay, so all you can do is focus on, okay, I'm going to take a deep breath. I'm going to remember that I get to control my chemical state. And maybe that's it. What can I enjoy right now? Well, I enjoy that I have a really comfortable bra on, something like that. It doesn't have
Well,
to be,
you found a comfortable bra. Hold up.
right?
It's a whole
So,
nother level. Yeah.
right, it's just like bringing it down to the most basic things. And
Hmm.
that, what did you just do? You took all your power back.
Hmm.
So the people that are triggering you around you can't trigger you when you're having this internal unity within you, internal acceptance. And now you just put yourself in an empowered state, even though you're not in agreement with the energy in the environment. You still, just through walking yourself through this process, accepted yourself, changed your chemical state. So you just changed your whole vibration. And you can choose then to have a completely different experience in that environment. No, you know what? I'm going to make this a game. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to play.
Yeah. Yeah. I did that with my son this morning. He was walking to school. So he had something going on with his eye. And he was like losing it. I'm like, wow, like my only thing that I get to do right now is like stay calm with my kid dragging his feet, even though I've got a bazillion things to do. It's driving me nuts. I have no idea how. I'm like, okay, this is life right now.
That is.
Yeah.
And that's that practice time and time again.
Hmm.
Because every time you practice that, you're not going into validating the story of why. And so presence is really, we're done needing to validate. So my oldest son that was born with
Hmm.
Down syndrome and autism, the whole reason why I'm on this journey, he has never once made up a story about why someone is doing something that they're doing or why they are the way they are. He
Oh,
has never needed to, you know, validate someone's behavior ever
oh,
or
that's neat.
anything about them. And because he's very, very present, he lives in this realm and he's in the other realm at the same time. Lives a very multidimensional existence all the time. So I look at him and I'm like, that's presence. It's presence because it's non-attachment. And he feels everything. Like he has good days and he has not so good days, but he's not trying to explain why he's having a bad day. He just is not feeling the best because he's not feeling the best. And then it moves through him very, very quickly. That is the difference. And that's why we can't just ascend to the fifth dimension. That's why we would get bored even if we were there because we're so used to receiving some kind of feedback to why we are experiencing what we are experiencing. And until we can let go of needing feedback, of being present, we're not ready for that next thing.
We're just so addicted to fixing everything, aren't we?
Yeah.
I love that he doesn't need a why or a how. He's just like, that's just what it is. Don't have to explain it.
Yeah. There's no need. Why? To him, there's not even a purpose to explain it. Why would I need to? There's no reason for it. So it's just, it's a gift for me to be
It's
able to
so
live
cool.
with someone like that all the
Yeah.
time. It can be difficult, obviously, but
Obviously.
I have learned so much from that. And he he's here in the physical, but a much lighter vibration, not really caught in the lower density of the third dimensional realm. And that's why his relationship with his body is different. I had to work a lot, together we did, to upgrade the root chakra and the sacral and everything so that his spirit could come down fully into his body so that he could integrate because we have so much emotional trauma in our and just floating along the earth plane, and we hold that in those lower chakras. So they've been spinning too slow for these very high vibrational souls like people with autism and differences to be able to slide their spirit like a DNA spiral down through the chakra system. They'll usually
Mm.
get to the solar plexus and then they pop out, which is why they have a hard time understanding emotion or really connecting with people because
Uh,
they're not really fully in their body because those lower three chakras have been way too dense and slow.
yeah.
So the first process that we had together, he's 17 now, but in the beginning, he made me, I had to do the cleanup work of really investigating and going inward and healing and opening and expanding those lower three chakras on myself because I had a lot of
Hmm.
trauma there. And once I did that, his sped up and then he slid down into his body. But his relationship with his body is different than I have with mine.
Hmm.
Mine has elevated quite a bit, but it's still
Hmm.
not to the degree with which his is. So he's floating in the upper third form and in the fourth, but a large part of him is in the fifth. And so he's talking to people that I don't see unless I'm really tuning in all
Yeah.
day long. He's having these conversations quite easily and functioning very differently in this world. And we look at them and we're confused and we don't understand, but it's because they're living from a place of non attachment and they're trying to understand why the hell we are so attached.
Because we love drama.
Yes,
Yeah. And we love our stories. Yeah.
exactly. So that's what we're working on. If we want to ascend, we have to practice presence.
Presence
But
and non-attachment.
it's a presence and non-attachment, but that's in the body with the body because the body's part of soul.
In the body with the body, because the body, that's so interesting because a lot of the times there's kind of an attack on the ego. And one of my favorite things about you is you're like, no, no,
No,
don't attack your ego. It's there for a really great reason.
it is. And your ego is inside of your soul. It's part of your soul. So if we're excluding the ego, your personality, which has your source energy codes in it,
Hmm.
then you're shutting a piece of yourself out and you're not going to ascend because you're creating internal resistance.
Yeah.
Your ego, the problem with it has been is
Hmm.
that it has been enmeshed with the emotional body.
Mm.
When they bring through a lot of energy, I get really red. You see how red my neck is?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
um, so the ego is multidimensional.
Hmm.
There's part of it living in the density, but when someone passes over, their personality still comes through, right?
Hmm.
And that personality is their ego. So when our physical body is ready to, disintegrate back into the earth plane, our ego moves with us to these other realms. It gives us our individualized identity. I don't want to say outside of source, but it's our
Yeah.
individual identity of source that we are.
Yeah.
So even if an archangel comes in, they have a
Hmm.
personality.
Hmm.
That personality is their ego. They would never call it ego, but it's their I. So it's working with ego. It's just freeing it up from attachment to our emotional subtle body and our subconscious minds in our bodies. So once we free that, then it expands and it doesn't get so triggered and it gets to be this incredibly beautiful filter for you. It can expand out all around you like a hot air balloon. And it has all these colors of your codes of light of your soul. And so when energy starts to come into your field, your ego gets to say, this energy that's coming into my field, this is not going to expand us. The molecules of energy in these waves are too incoherent. They're going to cause us to collapse internally. So if that's the case, then I'm going to send this energy back out and on its way. But it doesn't do it from a place of judgment of good, bad, right, wrong, or needing to put a story behind it. It's just either this is for me or this is not for me. And it really becomes that simple. And then the ego can have compassion. It has love. Have you ever met the ego of the earth? She's amazing. It's beautiful and it feels like a warm hug. So your ego,
Yeah.
our egos, all have the ability to feel like a warm hug.
Yeah. Not like the wounded, caged animal.
Yeah. And the wounded caged animal is more, he's just living in the denser realm of the third dimension. That's it. And that's not bad or wrong. They're just
Mm.
experiencing that. So invite that part of you again back into your stomach, work that trauma or work that woundedness up through the chakra system into the heart space. Because then I'm accepting that I've experienced this thing, or I'm accepting this trigger that I have, and I'm not going into the story of why. Even if it's like past life, you're just like, okay, I accept that
Yeah.
is what it is. And
Yeah.
I'm accepting this. And if I run it, the importance of, if it's not just thoughts going crazy in your mind, because thoughts we want to bring down into the heart, but anything else, if we can, we would like to start in the root chakra because you have the inferior mesenteric nerve plexus there. It's a plexus of neurons that creates a mind, and you have these in each chakra. So if we can bring whatever trigger or whatever is happening into the root first, and we're breathing slowly, the first thing that happens is that we release fear of self. So if we're breathing slowly, then we're starting to calm the nervous system as we're allowing ourselves to integrate this piece of ourselves, even if it's, the wounded part of our ego, bringing it up through the chakra system. We start to encode the nerves with a different frequency so that we can begin to rewire and rebuild the subconscious programming in each one of our brains. So the subconscious programming just isn't up here, it's in the cells, it's in each nerve plexus throughout the body. And we're wanting to re-script all of it, right?
Mm.
That's why just saying affirmations in our brain doesn't work because it's not
Ah,
building the chemical production in the body that we need to
yeah.
re-script. So if I'm bringing that trauma up through and I'm bathing each brain
Hmm.
with a calmness about what I'm feeling, even if I'm feeling like extreme envy or shame or whatever, if
Yeah.
I'm doing it from a really calm place, then I'm making it okay,
Hmm.
that I'm not wrong for feeling this extreme emotion or this trigger. I'm making myself safe and okay and normalizing that this is just being human. So then that takes the need to validate and create a story to make it okay that I feel that. So anything that we
Yeah.
can do to release needing to tell a story to validate why we feel something. So we breathe, we calm our
Yeah.
nervous system, and we
Yeah.
bring this energy up, up, up into the heart space. And by the time it hits the heart space, you're in a completely different chemical reaction. And again, you have this free energy to play with.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. And that's not just freedom for you, but it's freedom for the story. It's freedom for the other people involved.
It's a way to release enmeshments to other people. So
Yeah.
enmeshments look like chain link fences because you're trillions of atoms, they're atoms, and atoms are electromagnetic, they bond together. So
Yeah.
if we've been sharing this trauma bond with someone, or even just a
Mm.
low vibrational whatever with someone, um, our atoms are bonded, they're enmeshed in that field, and it's kind of like an open doorway between you and other people. And when we're not consciously aware, there's hundreds of enmeshments in our field. So that's what allows for triggers to kind of get in. So if I'm having a trigger, then I'm going to breathe. I'm not going to make my body wrong for feeling what it's feeling. So that,
Mm.
again, I'm building trust with my body. I'm not going to make my mind wrong for what it's thinking. I'm just going to accept. I'm going to bring all this energy up through me or down from my brain and into my heart space.
Mhm.
Again, releasing the need to validate for stories, coming into a place of self love, self appreciation, self trust above all else. That self trust opens up your gifts even more
Yeah.
and your connection
Yeah.
to your soul, your highest self, purpose, everything that we're searching for.
Wow.
Yeah.
We do really search for this stuff, don't we? It's so funny. We'll go to the ends of the earth literally before we're like, all right, let me see what's in here.
Let me take one more course. Let me ask
Yeah,
one
yeah,
more shaman.
yeah,
Um, and it's
yeah.
all within you. We just need a method that works for us
Hmm.
to receive what we're seeking. And ultimately, every person on the planet is a master creator.
Oh yeah.
We're creating all the time, but it's
Hmm.
how do I come into a place of not control, but flow with my truest desires to create from that space. And so everyone's like, I'm going to do hypnosis, and which can work, but we're
Sure.
untethered because we're wanting to rewire the
Hmm.
subconscious minds, but
Hmm.
it might work to a point. But then what are you doing to stay untethered? Like you need a process that works for you. And again, what works today might not work tomorrow.
We're all a bunch of toddlers. Man, it's never going to be the same thing.
It
Yeah,
isn't,
yeah,
but it's this continual investigation of what can I do in this moment to find just a little bit of joy? What can I do in this moment to find a little bit of peace?
hmm,
And maybe that's just looking at the color that's on my toenails right now.
hmm,
You know what? I like that color. That kind of makes me feel grounded. Okay, cool.
hmm.
Just look at your toenails. It doesn't matter like how big or small. We're just wanting to turn our energy over and over and over again inside. And we can't do that if we're fighting our mind. We can't do that if we're fighting our ego. And we can't do that if we're shaming our body for feeling what it's feeling.
Yeah, yeah,
Self trust, self love.
yeah. Well, it's all there ultimately for a reason, right?
Every piece of you is on purpose.
Every piece. Yeah.
Yeah. Soul would never create something that's non beneficial.
Honestly, I mean, we live on a planet with mosquitoes. So, like,
And down in
that's
Texas, we have cockroaches. Like these big, I'm just like,
oh. So obviously you're not creating something that doesn't have a purpose. So
everything has a purpose. Oh, I hate them so much. I don't use that word
oh,
lightly, but I know
oh.
there's a purpose for them. Okay.
I know. That's okay. I have a pair of pedals on a bike of mine, and I hate these pedals. They eat flesh. Like, I can't even tell you how many stitches I've had from these that you even look at them and they try to bite you. And I'm like, I hate these pedals. Obviously, they're not for me.
Yeah, exactly. But they are for
Obviously,
someone else or
they're
something
for
else.
someone else. Yeah.
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 So looking at
Yeah.
the world like it's created for you and it's
Hmm.
created by you,
Yeah.
everything gets an opportunity to work in your favor.
Yeah.
Absolutely everything. You can take trauma from childhood and you can be victim to it or you can be empowered by it.
Yeah.
Everything is a choice.
Yeah.
Everything is a choice.
Yeah.
And while that doesn't make abuse ever okay, you can allow it to either overpower you or you can choose to learn from it, to be
Yeah.
empowered by it, and to move on.
That's a huge enmeshment that takes people a little bit. right? Is that getting out of that childhood. Even when you find out that it was for you, it's completely backing your energy out of that and realizing that relationships probably look different and your connection to yourself looks different.
Completely,
Yeah.
completely.
Yeah.
I had a not great experience when I was 3 and 4. And
Oh, I like
I
the way
look
you say
back,
that.
and when I look back at that,
Hmm.
I'm like, wow, look how I just gave my power away. Look how I just gave my voice away. Even though I was so young, I didn't know that's what I was doing. But I
Hmm.
learned the contrast from it, and now I
Hmm.
would never let that happen again. So I learned the lesson from it, and I can choose to be empowered by it every
Yeah.
single time. And then you begin to remember things differently. I've talked
You
about
do.
this. Yeah, like I can remember why was that so big in my childhood when I had these amazing things happening over here?
Yeah.
There were like really supportive teachers. There were, I had horses that I could go ride.
Oh,
So like,
cool.
yeah, so I had these other things that were amazing. I just, when I was caught in my trauma, I just made this louder than this over here. And that was a choice.
Hmm.
That was a choice by my psyche. That was a choice by my ego. You know, I'm going to choose in this now moment. Now that I know what it is, now that I
Hmm.
know what the lesson was, I'm going to choose to receive the good from that time, the
Hmm.
joy from that time. And that gets to speak so much louder than anything
Hmm.
else.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's completely normal, natural for like a toddler to
Yeah,
go into that place. Of
for sure.
course you're going to, right?
Of
Like,
course. Of
yeah.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every time. You don't know what you
No,
don't know.
no.
So, okay, so what? Now I do.
Now I
That's it.
do. Yeah.
Now I do. That's it. It's like parenting. No one's born perfect at it. You don't know what you don't know until you do. And then
Mm-mm.
you're still learning as
Yeah.
they get older. I've got 2 high school kids now. I'm still
Yeah.
learning. But once you learn, you just accept. And again, that goes back to the place of non-attachment.
Hmm.
Because the old mom in me would have like anytime I figured out that I could have done something differently,
Oh, mom guilt.
right? The mom
Yeah.
guilt.
Mom guilt.
So I could be like, I could fall into that and try to like validate it and, depreciate myself and blah, 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 blah. Well, I couldn't see the whole perspective then, but I can see more now. So I'm just accept that that's the vibration that we were at. I accept that my kids learned from that in the process too, and that we get to evolve now into something different. It's non-attachment. It's bringing all the energy back home so that I can create a new experience for myself with them.
So I have a question. So when you see that, then after you've realized that, do you go back and you're like, oh, I could have done it this way and start interacting from that space instead?
So one, I accept what was.
Yeah.
Two, I don't, I used to go back and rescript a lot.
Hmm.
Instead, I just pull all the energy out of it and I create something new in the present moment because really that's all there is.
Oh, neat.
So if I go back to rescript, then I'm just sending energy where it doesn't need to go.
Yeah.
Instead, I'll be very present with it. And if I need to, I'll talk to my kids and just be present with them and say, this is how I think we could move forward. Or I'm sorry that this was what it was, but this is what I'm going to do differently with you now. If you want to
Yeah.
be differently with me in the situation now. So I don't necessarily go back like I used to.
Love it.
Instead, I dissolve,
Yeah.
release, and bring as much energy present as I can to create something new to move forward with.
That sounds like a great launch pad.
It is. It moves timelines, it shifts you into parallel realities a lot faster. So,
Yeah. Then going back.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and they naturally heal. If I take all my energy, because that experience that was in the past, it's like a balloon just hanging out in the energy field. that
Hmm.
I have strings of guilt attached to. If I take out all the strings,
Yeah.
then that experience that was just collapses
Hmm.
and releases, dissipates. So it's not like it doesn't exist. The lesson was learned and integrated, but the pain and the suffering and the cycling of it is completely released. And so I don't have to go back and rescript it. Again, it's more like there were some really good things going on at the same time.
Yeah.
What do I want to make bigger? Well, I want to whoop, take that out. When I take that out, then the strings to my kids disappear as well, right? Because it's really my energy that's feeding it.
Hmm.
So if I am healing and bringing all my energy present, that collapses. And then the strings that are going into my kids release too.
Hmm. Yeah. So then they don't have to be that version of them.
Exactly. Exactly. It frees everything up.
It really does.
It does. It does.
That even feels good.
It feels so much better, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It
Just like even
makes,
talking about it.
yeah, it makes it so much easier. And there was a reason why we used to do things the way we did. Like there was
Yeah.
a time and space why when we were learning how
Hmm.
to do something. But
Hmm.
the earth's evolving. Energy here is evolving and changing and shifting. And
Hmm.
how I, again, it goes back to like how I'm doing something right now, how I'm sharing and teaching right now. Well, that might be completely different if I talk to you next year.
Yep.
I could say, well, now I'm doing it like this.
Yep.
Allow yourself, give yourself that freedom to not make yourself wrong for how you're
Mm.
doing something or trying to continue to do something the old way, but bring everything back in now. Be
Yeah.
present right now. What feels good right now?
Yeah. And I do think when you're coming out of that whole, the like the lower dimensions or the density, rescripting is really helpful.
Hmm.
It is. It's like one
And
of those techniques that you want. Yeah.
it is. And true rescripting has to happen in the present moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
And but we need energy to rescript with.
Yes.
So that's why we have to be in a certain kind of chemical state, like relaxed
Hmm.
chemical state, expanded state. That really allows for our brain waves to slow down. When our brain waves slow down and we create a coherent communication between the heart and the mind, which happens when we create internal unity consciousness, when we accept what we're feeling and we just breathe, when we create that coherence, that slows down our brain waves so that our perception can expand. And that's where true rescripting happens.
Yeah.
That's true rescripting because we're able to penetrate deeper into that subconscious, into the subconscious minds of the
Hmm.
entire body. That's quantum play. Now you're in the quantum field where there's infinite possibilities.
Such a fun field. It's such a fun field. I know. I know. I love it. And it's a word that's kind of getting tossed around so much that it's losing a little bit of its edge
Yeah.
because people have found they can use it for anything. But yeah, oh, it's such a fun and like the string theory and the quantum and
Mhm.
it's all really fun stuff.
It is. Bring it back down to the basics.
Yeah.
Keep it simple. What do I need to free up energy in my body? Free energy is the quantum field within you. It's creation energy.
Hmm.
Quantum just means like untethered. It's not plugged in. It's just pure. So to create the quantum field within you, I need as much energy as I can to be untethered from stories and programs. How do I do that? Through releasing internal resistance. That's what the unity method is for. That my oldest son, because he plays in the quantum all the time. Because he's just not creating stories that pull him out of the quantum.
Yeah.
So how we create the quantum internally, how we play with infinite possibilities, how we rescript, how we have a broader perception and not get caught up is releasing resistance internally, chemically, with our and our thoughts and our emotions, everything through self-acceptance. And so you need a way to bring this all into the heart space without going into the stories or the whys. It is what it is. You don't know what you don't know. Now you do. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to breathe and I'm going to accept. And now you have the quantum field hanging out in your chest and you can just play a movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what the book is coming out in, when did I say? September 23rd. The Unity Method. I'm teaching a course that starts next week, but it's all about building internal bridges between all these different aspects of self and learning how to stay out of validation. Validation is such a sticky vibration, and it's in every area of our lives. You think about social media, the number of likes, validation. Think about the number of views that maybe a YouTube video has, validation. Think about how many people clicked on your email, validation. How did this person respond to the way that you look today? Validation. What did you feel from this other person when you were pouring your heart out? Did they respond not?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, validation. It's
Mm-hmm.
everywhere. It's
Everywhere.
everywhere.
We love it.
Everywhere. Yep. So, how many times throughout your day can you bring all of your energy in and just be really, really present with yourself?
Mm-hmm.
If you're a student, you can be sitting in a classroom. You can not like the subject that you're having to sit with, but you can be really present and download the information like that and then make it a game. How many people are like wandering off? Like, just make anything a game to find joy. How does the seat feel underneath me? Whatever.
Instantaneous. Games are instantaneous. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So, how many games can you play with yourself today? Over and over and over again. And every time you play a game, pat yourself on the back. Be like, man, we just pulled our information out of these programs in the field. And we were in that game, we were playing in the quantum field with joy.
Yeah.
How amazing is that? Like, I did that 20 times today. Holy cow. Like, 20
Yeah.
times today, I was unprogramming myself.
Yeah.
Make tally marks. Put a timer on your
Yeah.
phone once an hour or once
Yeah.
a day. I don't really care what you start with, but
Yeah.
it's a game. It's a game that we're all playing. And if I want to ascend, if I really want to become a master creator, if I want to change my financial situation, if I want to play with my spouse differently or my kids differently, or if I want to just not be ticked off at my parents for all the programs I downloaded, every time throughout the day, I need to pull my energy all back in, take myself
Mm-hmm.
out of validation and victimhood from my environment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to accept everything that I'm feeling. I'm going to come into my heart. Remember that these are all choice points that I have to be
Mm-hmm.
empowered by or be victim to. And I want to be empowered by whatever
Yeah.
arises.
I know. And it's tiny, teeny, tiny things that you see it with. I ran a marathon and I texted my dad. I was like, I just ran my very first marathon. And he texted back, nice. And I was like,
Like,
what? What? Come on. Like, come on, dad. Like, nice. And then I'm sitting there and like I give it a few minutes. I'm like, that's my dad. That's my dad. He's the man who just texts, nice.
yeah,
Well done, right? And I'm like, I started laughing. I'm like, that's exactly who he is. I can't, like, I don't want him to be anybody other than nice.
yeah,
I just
yeah.
want him to be that.
And that
Small
was,
moments.
yes, it is very small moments like that.
Yeah.
And then but what I want people to do in those small moments
Hmm.
is acknowledge themselves
Hmm.
and like really be their biggest cheerleader of like, look, I just released any expectation that I had on my dad
Yeah.
to be validated for this huge achievement that I just did.
Yeah.
Twice I was training for marathons and twice I got pregnant, so I never ended up running a full one. It was a great excuse too, because I got
That
to
is,
mile 15. I was like, um,
sorry. Oh well.
So, but self-validation.
Yeah.
I mean, that's building self-trust, self-love.
Hmm.
Hey, look what I did. That's telling yourself you love yourself over and over and over again. The
Hmm.
more that you do that, the easier it is for all these things that you're really wanting to happen. You can change your health. You can
Yeah.
change anything because it puts you into the quantum field. You become the master creator consciously with your
Hmm.
whole energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, it's just a game. It's fun.
Yeah.
But
It is.
I linked an opt-in to the free library that I have on my website. And
Amazing.
the library is somebody asked me once, "Who's your ideal client?" And I was like, honestly, me. Like if I would have had me 17 years ago,
It's so much easier.
right?
Yeah.
Because I had people there that would, well, along the path, someone would help me clear energy, but they didn't teach me how to do it myself. Or I had
Hmm.
someone that did angelic readings, but couldn't teach me how to do that myself. So anything that I do, it's for you. I speak it out loud. I share what I'm doing out loud so that you can not just feel the energy running through you, but practice doing it yourself so that you become and step into becoming your own greatest healer. Because again, this is about internal unity consciousness and finding the practices that work for you over and over again, building bridges internally for you. So that's what any of the free stuff that's in my library is there for, to teach you how to heal you. Um, and I just want to offer that for people to play with.
Thank you. That's a huge gift. Yeah, because there's so we see with social media, it's like, I discovered this one thing, I discovered this one thing, I just needed that. And it's like, well, that's cool for you, but it's like everybody's going to have a different piece that clicks. Everybody's going to need
Yes.
something different. Yeah.
Everybody, because we're
Yeah.
layered. So again,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
play, play,
Yeah.
play, play.
I absolutely love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And your book comes out when you said next week on the
September
23rd?
23rd. Yep.
The September 23rd. Okay.
Yes.
Fantastic. And if
Uh,
anybody wants to connect with you more, where do they get to go?
ericavaneaton.com. Or you
Perfect.
can find me
Oh,
on YouTube
yeah.
under Erica Van Eaton Healing.
Yeah.
I put out transmissions on there.
Oh,
But I
nice.
suggest going to my website first because anything that I have going on will be updated on there. And then the book will be released on Amazon and it walks you through 17-year long journey of unity consciousness and understanding it. And it's intermixed with how they had me write the book was, and I was so resistant to doing this,
Hmm.
was putting a lot of personal stories in. It's one thing when I do speeches and I say, like, share a story, but it was very different having it in written form. But
Hmm.
in each chapter, they would have me write a personal story and then playing out the concept, how it interacted, how it played with that concept. So you know how to integrate this concept into your life, like choice points or, parallel realities, whatever it may be, to make it relatable. It's all about it being relatable, something that is obtainable for everyone. Everyone can walk into unity consciousness internally. You can. But just bring about some hope that it doesn't have to be so hard and that we can play. And that's what I loved about our conversation today. It's like,
Yeah.
it's play, and you were willing to play with me. So thank you.
Thank you for playing with me. That's that's always right. That's always my
Yes.
aim is
Yeah.
just have some fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I've definitely been the person who's made things way harder than they need to be.
Oh, for sure. I did that
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah. Then just one day you're like, you know what? I'm just not gonna, I'm just done.
There's an easier way.
There's an easier way.
There's
Yeah.
always an easier way. And it doesn't mean that you're not going to have hard days. I think
No,
people, I
didn't mean
think,
that at all.
I feel like that's kind of a misconception about ascension is that they think that they're not still going to have all the all the full array of emotion, but you do because we have the chemical production for it. We're human and we're supposed to. It's
Yeah.
just how can I use every single part of me to
Mm-hmm.
benefit my expansion, to show up as source and expand the source that I am here.
Yeah.
Everything is working for you.
Yeah.
So,
Still gonna hurt when people attack you. Still gonna be furious at your kids when they're dragging their feet, right? Stuff's still gonna happen. Yeah.
yep. But how
Yeah.
can this work for me?
Yeah, they
How can I
do.
move through this?
Yeah. What are they showing me? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe you don't always know what they are showing you, but you're just choosing, it's a choice
Yeah.
point, to make it work for
Mm,
your benefit.
yeah.
I don't know why I'm running 10 minutes late. Being late is like one of my pet peeves. So I don't know why I'm running 10 minutes late, but I am. So I'm going to make this work for me. This is
Yeah.
happening for me for whatever
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah. Even if I don't know what it is. Oh, that is a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I use
Don't
that one a
shame.
lot.
Yeah,
I don't know why, but this is happening for me. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
exactly. Don't shame yourself.
Yeah.
And if you do shame yourself, breathe the shame in,
Yeah.
breathe it and accept it. You don't have to validate it. Just
The
breathe it and
shame is
accept
for
it.
me. The shame is for me.
Exactly. Like I can turn shame into $100,000 because again, it's just pure energy if I unleash it from being tethered to shame.
Hmm.
Just like I can turn joy, they're like money responds to high vibe. Well,
Hmm.
not really. You can turn any energy can be
Hmm.
turned into a different vibration. Anything.
Hmm. Yeah. Alchemy.
Alchemy. That's what alchemy is.
That's
So
what alchemy is.
absolutely everything can work for you.
Yeah.
Everything.
Well, yeah, because every thought has like it has its potential in its most limited form and its most expansive form. Like it's,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. You can be having super negative thoughts about, I don't know, maybe your health.
Hmm.
This is still energy that I get to play with. Okay,
Hmm.
so I'm going to take these negative thoughts, I'm going to breathe them in to my heart space, and then it's untethered from the energy it was before. I just alchemized it. I used my heart's magnetic field to alchemize that energy of
Hmm.
those thoughts. And now they're pure potential. Well, now I'm going to play with beautiful health, vitality. So I just took these negative thoughts that were feeding a disease state and I turned it into something that's feeding vitality instead. That's why we don't have to shame ourselves or like be failures about something because literally every single part of you
Hmm.
can be alchemized and used for something expansive and good for you. I don't like saying good, but
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
expansive, more fun and playful for you. Anything at all, as long as you don't validate the story of it and keep it tethered to the past.
I could talk to you for hours.
Yeah, I could play for hours.
Play for, yeah, I could play for hours, days on end.
Yeah, but I got to go pick a kid up from school. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank
yeah.
you for all of the fantastic insights.
You're welcome. Thanks for having
Yeah.
me on. Thanks for
Yeah.
sharing me with your audience. They're fun and light and they feel um, very playful, which is kudos to you. So,
Oh, thank you. You have to be to hang around me. If you're not playful, it does not last long. People early, they walk away
exactly.
pretty fast. Yeah.
Good for them for walking
Yeah.
away and finding
Yeah.
their own thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because if you're not playful, you're not hanging out here long. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you to everybody for watching, and we'll see you on the next show.
Thank you.